What is up, everybody? Joe Dobby here, back at it again with another deck profile for you today. I'm going to be doing the Glass Cannon RagnaLoardmon deck that I just built, and it's for obviously red because that's where we see the most aggression for RagnaLoardmon deck, and a lot of the aggressive support cards are in there for you. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and dive into the babies here. We've got 2 copies of Baby Domon, and the objective of Baby Domon is to take advantage of the increase in DP from piercing. We're using a lot of piercing in here. As we know, RagnaLoardmon has piercing. Blitz Greymon will also have piercing, and those are going to be your main beaters in this deck. So we've got the 2 Baby Domon over there, and the 3 babies that we're going to be running are 3 copies of Digimon. The reason why I figured to run 3 copies of Digimon over Baby Domon is because I do like the extra DP that is external to whether your opponent, whether your Digimon has piercing or not. I do like the fact that as soon as your opponent touches the 5 cards in trash kind of like requirement, your Digimon with this stack will immediately have an extra 1000 boost. So I'm pretty cool with that. A little bit more consistent in terms of being able to get a DP as well throughout the game, and not just when you reach your Blitz Greymon or your RagnaLoardmon. Without further ado, we'll go into the rookies here, running 4 copies of Zubamon. Still getting used to these names, guys. RagnaLoardmon, the whole line is something that I'm actually not familiar with. I haven't encountered him in any of the Digimon games or the animes that I've watched. But I've played like Digimon World 1 to 3, Next Order, Cyber Sleuth, and yeah, I just never ended up really encountering them in those games. So anyway, Zubamon is here for that search, allowing me to look for what I need in order to get to RagnaLoardmon. So really good rookie there. Really great opening play, especially when you kind of already have another rookie in the raising as your start turn. That said, we're going to be running 4 copies of Agumon here as well. Automatic DP boost. Just your typical DP boost card, and I love it. Also, Agumon is amazing. Really cool Digimon. And lastly, 4 copies of Guilmon for that extra DP boost. Essentially the same effect as your Digimon. And oddly enough to some people, but I like it, I'm running 2 copies of Biyomon. I like Biyomon because I can just plop Biyomon in raising, and then plop a Zubamon out on the board, and then I can kind of gain an extra memory to use in my next turn because I bring up that Biyomon. Like, as important as the eggs are, I can probably let go of a Digimon if it means I get an extra memory. So I'll happily prep for that Biyomon swinging into security and gaining me a memory. We're getting into the champions here, running 4 copies of Zuba Eagermon, and this Digimon grants security attack +1 when you have a level 7 Digimon as a stack. And once again, it's 100% getting up to RagnaLoardmon, getting that extra security check, and boosting RagnaLoardmon's ability to really wipe out your security in one go. Your opponent's security, actually, in one go, not your own. Alright, so 4 copies of Cordramon, your natural blocker. I like Cordramon in this deck, and the reason why is because you do want to find some way to bring yourself back into the game if you are not able to quickly get to your RagnaLoardmon pieces. You do want to be able to have Cordramon there to prevent your opponent's rookies from swinging as you build up to those pieces. So I think the blockers are really important. And 3 copies of Greymon, the extra 2000 DP boost. Naturally, I'm gonna want this on my Blitz Greymon mainly instead of the RagnaLord. It's gonna be great on the RagnaLord as well because I'll be able to take out Digimon like the Omnimons and really anything that's like 15k, because Ragna will put me at 16. Greymon will put me at 16 on the Ragna. Getting into our level 5s here, running 4 copies of Durandamon, and once again, more security attack if you have a level 7 Digimon under as a stack. Pairs very well with the entire RagnaLoardmon line, adds that security check. So if you have a Zuba Eagermon, a Duramon here, you're gonna really end up with 2 security checks already just from the level 5 stack. So really good there. running 3 copies of Larvogaridomon, and this is just to help me turbo up into Blitz Greymon so I can de-digivolve my opponent. That'll buy me a turn, hopefully, to get to RagnaLord, instead of like getting hard removed by Omnimon, for example. At least I can bring a Digimon back to level 4 or whatever in order to prevent any hard removal on me through digivolving. That said, Larvogaridomon is also very high in DP, so you can pretty much comfortably swing into security with a Greymon, Guilmon, or Agumon stack. For last of the level 5s, we're running Metal Greymon, the virus type, and the reason why we're running this type of Metal Greymon here is just to search for RagnaLoardmon if my opponent happened to remove it. There are instances where you might just have the perfect hand, you boost up into RagnaLoardmon and it's great, but you sacrifice, you risk the Gaia forces and the Trump swords coming in and really taking him out before you can do anything. At least Metal Greymon will bring him back there. Getting into our megas, now we're getting exciting. So Blitz Greymon is a really, really great card. Like, I like this card a lot. The Digimon's really cool too. So upon Digivolution, it's actually de-digivolve 2. So one of your opponent's Digimon, you take top 2 cards off the stack, and there you go. In addition to that, he's a 12k Digimon with piercing. So what I love about that is the piercing will trigger with the Durandamon and the Zuba Eagermon. For example, if you don't get that perfect RagnaLoardmon stack, Blitz Greymon will at least swing for 3 checks after destroying a Digimon. Or if you have a really, really high DP boost from the Greymon, from the Agumon or Guilmon, or from the Baby Domon, you can get Blitz Greymon up to 16, 17k, and he can easily swing over anything, which is pretty cool because you can kind of de-digivolve one target and get rid of an Omnimon. Instead of de-digivolving that Omnimon, you can just swing into it after de-digivolving something else that could just turbo back up into an Omnimon. If you guys catch my, kind of like get what I'm saying. I don't know if that made enough sense. But yeah, Blitz Greymon, really cool card. Next, we've got ourselves 4 copies of Durandamon. And this card is awesome because it grants your RagnaLoardmon piercing. Once you have RagnaLoardmon with piercing, you can pretty much swing for 4 security checks just from the perfect stack after destroying a Digimon. And I'll show you in a bit as to how that works. Actually, I'll show it to you right now because here we are, RagnaLoardmon. So RagnaLoardmon is a super glass cannon. Invest everything you can and hope your opponent has the removal at the bottom of their deck type of card. So upon digivolving, you can actually place one Durandamon or Brywirludamon or Bralubulubulubumon underneath the RagnaLoardmon at the top of the Digivolution stack, and once you do that, you actually gain 3 memory. So effectively, if you have to end your turn from digivolving into RagnaLoardmon, this reduces the punishment by allowing you to get a Durandamon up in there, gaining that 3 memory back so you go back to 0, so you can at least swing with him once before he gets removed. But once again, he's going to have piercing with the Durandamon. He naturally has security attack +1. So he's going to be swinging for 2 checks, plus the Duramon 3 checks, Zuba Eagermon 4 checks. That is awesome. Plus he's 14k, and with, he's 14k. So he's really good. He's so fun, guys. It's so dumb to play. Like, I just love it so much. Anyway, 2 copies of Tai, and Tai once again just makes it even more devastating because it adds a security attack if you have a red Digimon with 4 or more Digivolution sources. So RagnaLoardmon's red, Blitz Greymon is red, and they both could have piercing. And with a perfect stack, you could get RagnaLoardmon to swing into a Digimon and check for 5 security checks, rendering your opponent in trouble. Unless you swing into like a Gaia Force, you're pretty much fine, you know, or a bounce effect like a Kaitis Breath or anything like that, like Terra Cluster maybe would be a really tough time. But I mean, I'd rather get the whole swing and see where that takes me. Honestly, it's just so fun. 2 copies of Gaia Force. You're probably wondering why I'm not running 4 of this, or even at least 3 of this, and the reason why is because I need a lot of Digimon in this type of deck, because you want to get to your level 6s as fast as you can. Sometimes you don't even care about the perfect stack, because Tai will carry you with an extra security check, and you've got 2 Digimon that could potentially have piercing anyway, so at that point you're getting a security check for removal, and that's fine with me. Which is why I only have the 2 Gaia Force there. Arguably, kind of want to make it just a 1 Gaia Force, and the reason why is I'm contemplating making this a 2 of. A delicate plan. Such a great card for RagnaLoardmon, only 1 cost. Okay, so let me just read out the main effect for y'all. It is one of your Digimon gains. This Digimon doesn't activate the security effects of any cards it checks for the turn. So, we've got security Digimon that come out and get played from your security stack. We have a lot of security effects like Gaia Force, Kaitis Breath, Terror Cluster, even Night Raid, and this will negate all of that. This is like the best card for RagnaLoardmon, because if you can check for 5, remove a Digimon, and not have a single security card trigger, you're in an amazing spot, because it's free. I only run the 1 of because I'm digivolving a lot in this deck, and I figured I'll be able to get it eventually. Obviously with the 1 of, you're running the risk of never seeing that card, but at the same time, I do have the Blitz Greymon, the RagnaLoardmon together. I could potentially reduce a Blitz Greymon to add a delicate plan, but at that point, my fear is that I am just going all in with RagnaLoardmon, and I'm not too comfortable with that. I like having the RagnaLoardmon Glass Cannon just go all out, but at the same time, Blitz Greymon does provide some sort of fallback in case that plan goes awry. That said, though, Glass Cannon 100%. Just go up tall as fast as you can, drop a blocker if you want, and just keep swinging. Just keep swinging, try to bait out your opponent's Digimon, and then get into something else and swing into that. That way you can at least remove a body per security check, and you won't even feel bad if you get like removed, because at least you would have removed 1 other Digimon that your opponent would have had as well for that check. But that said, that is my red RagnaLoardmon deck. I will update it as we go, but right now this is the list I've been really comfortable with. Like, I haven't really had any issues with playing it. I actually enjoy it. And even when I lose, it's just absolute fun. But with that said, guys, I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and peace. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to see me play this, my Malo Mayotismon main deck for 1.5 as well, I am on Twitch. It's Joe Dobby, the same name as my YouTube. Go ahead and hit me up with a follow over there. If you like what you see, go ahead and like and subscribe. It's like the first time I'm asking for this. But anyway, thank you. Take care, y'all. Bye.